Welcome back, everybody, to the Board YouTube channel for your Monday pick and roll. New month, new week, and we're back after a big week last week on the show. It was a great week of profit, and I hope you guys did cash with us. We've got another loaded show today. There are plenty of NBA games to discuss, and there was some news that broke. A couple big pieces of news that broke over the weekend in the NBA as well. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to go through the slate of NBA games. We're going to get the free picks from my co-host PipsNBA. So this promises to be an absolutely loaded episode here presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook. So please, guys, make sure you do hit that like button if you enjoy along the way. Hit that like button if you tailed the picks last week and got some cash off it. Subscribe to the channel for shows like this every weekday morning. And just to verify that big week we had on the show, I'll pull it up here. We had almost 4 units of profit in that week. Unfortunately, a slight losing day. We were 2-2 on Friday. We lost the juice on the Torian Prince play, but big week overall, 4 straight days of profit to start the week, a slight loss on Friday, and we take it. We move, and we'll pull in Pips here. We're going to go right to our first game of the day before we get into any trade talk. We've got the Sacramento Kings against the Timberwolves here. Minnesota, -4.5 favorites at home against the Kings, who made a big trade as well, which we'll talk about. What do you have in this game here?
Yeah, we're going to Mike Conley, 2+3s.
Mike Conley,
No,
2+3s.
not over 1.5, but 2+.
Right, so -125 for 2+3s. I'm just gonna check I just know it's worse. Yeah, -130 for over 1.5. So 2+3s for Mike Conley is where we will start the day here, and I'll just verify the market prices to see where we're at on this one.
Close. By far the best price.
Oh yeah, this is a great price. -125 is where we'll go for this one. First play of the day, right at the start. Walk us through this one. Why you like it?
Yeah, opening up Props Madness. This is very easy to see one. First off, going to the threes. So last game against the Wizards, he played 34 minutes. That's because there is no Dante DiVincenzo and no Randall. So they need Mike Conley to create stuff for the team. When you look at the entire season, when he gets 4 or more minutes, he's over this line in 17 out of 26 games. Which is only with 24 plus minutes. If you go to like 28 plus minutes, he's over in 70%. If you go to 26 plus minutes, he's over in 14 out of 28. And he kind of has like 28 to 30 minutes locked tonight if this is not a blowout. So yeah, great minutes for him expected here. And he cleared this in 14 out of 18. And he scored most of his threes as above the break 3. 53% of his threes are above the break 3, which is a lot of green. As we can see, the Kings allow 5th most above the break 3s, and most of his points is spot up, that's 3s, and Kings allow the most 3s in the entire league. And the most important stuff, we can look at the head-to-head. So far, 3 games against the Kings this season, limited minutes, 27. And in the first one, still covered 2 from 7 on threes. Second game, 4 from 9. Third game, 3 from 8. So out of any teams in the league, he had the highest volume threes shooting in this matchup against the Kings for a good reason. They are doubling and setting 2 on Anthony Edwards, which opens up a ton of spot up for Mike Conley. Over the average 9 threes in 3 games against the Kings. Total of 17 and 7, 24 threes against the Kings over the 3 games. That's just a really good volume. If he's getting 7 or 8 up, this should be like prime time spot for Conley, who is shooting almost 40% from the 3. So getting so many looks and so many shots up at -125. Honestly, think this should be like -160 as a fair price. So we have a good start.
Great start to the show here. We found that best price by a good margin here at FanDuel, -125. We'll give a word to our presenting sponsor here on the Board YouTube channel, the FanDuel Sportsbook, because the NBA season is really heating up now, especially as we get towards the trade deadline and new players, new teams, lots to watch, lots to decipher. And as long as we're watching all this, we can check out the FanDuel Sportsbook to make all of these NBA moments even more rewarding with America's #1 sportsbook. It's an easy sportsbook to use with so many different markets available. We see here an example of the 1+, 2+, 3+ point lines. There's SGPs with so many different markets as well. On top of that, quarter props, live betting options, and more. These markets are posted quickly with fair prices, and if you do find those winners, speedy withdrawals to get that money back into your own account. And right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Yes, $200. So next time you get a hunch on who's going to win or how many points a player will score, bet on FanDuel and watch your picks come to life. Just visit FanDuel.com/board. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. But must be 21 plus and present in select states for Kansas affiliation with Kansas Star Casino or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bet which expires 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. We'll bring Pips back in here. We can't. I know it's a pick show, but it cannot be an NBA show without discussing the trades that went down this weekend because I was fortunate to still be awake when the Luka Doncic trade broke. It was about 12:20 local time, and if it wasn't a Saturday, I would not have been awake for it. Pips, unfortunately, was asleep, so he didn't get the exact drop, so he woke up to the mess. I mean, Pips, well, your phone must have, because I texted you when it happened. You didn't reply, so I knew you were asleep, but your phone must have exploded when you woke up. How did you find out about this? What was it like?
Yeah, so I woke up to something about LeBron and huge trade. And I was like, did LeBron just got traded to Golden State Warriors? I was so confused.
That would have been less surprising than this trade.
Yeah. I had 10 plus messages from random people asking for opinion and just being shocked. And yeah, it was out of nowhere, didn't expect it. And when I've seen the return, it was very confusing stuff. My first opinion was huge robbery by the Lakers, and then after some thoughts, kind of stayed the same, didn't change much. It was unbelievable deal for the Lakers. They somehow always managed to pull those superstars, and they were gifted by one. I don't know if you watched the Dallas GM's comments yesterday.
I did.
It kind of made it even worse, which is
he didn't justify it very well. Yeah, the thing about Nico Harrison's press conference, Dallas Mavericks GM, is he was asked about it. So a reporter asked, obviously this helps you in the short term, which is extremely debatable to say that, but the idea is this helps them in the short term, but he was asked, what does this do for your future? How does this help your team in the future? And he said, we're worried about the next 3-4 years. Essentially, I'm not worried about what's going to happen 10 years from now, which, you probably should have your team's best interest in mind. You are the general manager, of course. Dallas's championship odds with this trade went down. I think this makes them worse. I can see, I can see at least the vision of okay, we're going to be a defensive force in the paint. We're going to be a big team. If we have to go through OKC to get to another final, they struggle against teams that are big in the paint. We're going to be very big in the paint here. But there's such a lack of floor spacing now. And mind you, they just lost 30 points per game, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. A guy who can go 40 minutes every single game in the playoffs. All this talk of conditioning. He played 80 to 100 games last year, going all the way to the finals. He played almost 40 minutes in all of those games. So, yeah, I think the biggest thing with this trade is, if they were seriously hell-bent on trading Luka, which is crazy to trade a perennial MVP candidate who's 25 years old, but to not get 3 firsts, 2 swaps, 4 firsts, 3 swaps type of deal is just insane. Yeah.
I kind of get it in from the point like the trying to get a great player in return. But that's just short-sighted. Like you could use like get 5 picks, first round picks for Luca. I think that's pretty expected, and then turn those 5 picks in like an unbelievable team. Like, yeah, I don't get it. Like, makes zero sense. Like, just like poor job by
Yeah.
Dallas,
Like,
and like when he talked, I was kind of like getting an idea that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like he just not like.
it must have been tough for Jason Kidd to sit there and like, what is this guy talking
He
about? But he
said,
has to agree with
he
him.
said he didn't even he didn't even tell him about it because Jason Kidd will do everything in his power to stop that trade. Like, made zero sense.
Yeah, like I can come. I think this is idiotic, but I can come to grips with Dallas thinking like we can maximize this era better by being more defensive focused, bigger in the paint. I can understand that train of thought. I cannot understand the justification for the return they got on this. One first round pick. The Lakers had two to trade. And if that was not the sticking point. I promise you the Lakers do this trade if Dallas are hell bent on getting that 2031 pick as well. They only got one first round pick here. De'Aaron Fox went for three last night. I think in the end it's two, and then one of them is a conditional pick that becomes 2 second round picks. So it's technically 2 picks. But even then,
It's almost like
more than what they got for Luka.
yeah. So I'll say like I get the idea of trading Luka Doncic, like wanting to trade Luka Doncic,
Yeah,
but then you shop around and get the best possible deal back.
you make it
And he was
public.
bragging that he didn't talk to anyone besides Pelinka,
You
and
should have
thanking
talked
him for not
to somebody
leaking it
else.
out.
Like
And that Pelinka was shocked with the idea.
yeah.
When someone is shocked with the idea, try talking about it with someone else.
Just
Uh,
literally host a press conference, say we're trading Luca, send in your offers. And Houston would have come in with a monster offer with picks, Jalen Green, probably like another young piece in there. Like
I will
I
honestly
get they
give out.
wanted AD, but like
Yeah,
this is such an undervaluation.
I will give out a ton of stuff. The only guy that I wouldn't trade for Luca is Emin Thompson. I will be willing to give out everything else,
Yeah,
even Shengun.
yeah, yeah. Because it's Luka Doncic. It's a top
Yeah.
three player in the NBA. It's a perennial MVP candidate. At
Ma-
25 years old, he's made I think 5 straight All NBA first teams. He won't make it this year because he won't have enough games played. But
Can you imagine?
5 in a row.
Can you imagine before pulling up Fox? Can you imagine Wemby and Doncic for the next 10 years?
Yeah,
How do you even beat that shit?
and I tell you, if Nico Harrison went to the Spurs with Luca, they would have gotten a much better trade there. A lot of picks to use. It's yeah. I went first like after it took me 20 minutes to like believe it was actually a trade, and it took
Yeah.
everyone like. If you were there live, like nobody believed it was true because it was so absurd. If your trade is so bad that people don't actually believe it's real and they think Shams got hacked, yeah, it's probably not a very good trade. But I went to the Dallas Mavericks subreddit to see the fire that went off over there, and yeah, Dallas fans are not happy about this one.
Imagine being a Dallas fan. What do you even do now?
I don't know because you can't have any faith in management here. Like the team got worse in the short term and in the long term. I think it got worse in the short term. Like I get like you're
I was
more defensive equipped,
I
but
need to talk about one point which is Dallas early failed to make a team for Luka play style.
yeah,
Then they spent 2 years building up huge wings that can defend and that can shoot and that they don't need the ball. Like when you're playing that kind of ball, Luka ball, you need guys that can shoot and defend. You don't need anything else. Like don't need to have any creation. Then they bring him probably one of the best ever co-stars. Like Kyrie is like well, I don't think there are many second best players on the team. Like
Mhm.
he's one of the best seconds ever on the team. They got him the rim running bigs that can defend the rim. So like Lively and Gafford. So that unlocks his offense. They built up the entire team just for Luka. Every piece of that team is on
Mhm.
Luka, and now you traded him. And first off, you get to the finals for the first time and lose to the one of the best offensive teams of all time.
Yeah.
And then you trade Luka, and now you have a team, three bigs, three bigs, Kyrie who is 33, and your best creator is Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah.
This
Like,
team,
no
how did they
shooting,
score?
nothing.
How do
Yeah.
they score? Like Kyrie is amazing, and AD will help. Their defense will probably like top five now easily. Should be easily top five, but their offense won't be will be like bottom five, bottom 10 in the league
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. They have to slide PJ Washington up to the 3 now, which is clunky. Like, it was good at the 4, but like AD's
PJ
held them
Washington was
playing the
amazing
5.
for them this
They'll
season.
they'll probably close games with AD at the 5, PJ at the 4, but like you have Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford still. I know Lively's going to be out for a
I,
good
I watched
amount of
I
time.
watched the team against the Pistons 3 days ago, and my initial thoughts about that game after that game is no one, no one can handle the ball besides Kyrie,
Yeah.
which is insane. You can play Kyrie 42 minutes a night for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, you can in playoffs, but Kyrie is also not playing on the ball. Like um, when he played next to Luka, he didn't even handle the ball.
Yeah.
He was like attacking off the ball like a shooting guard. So he's not a point guard. Kyrie never was a true point guard. He's amazing at shooting guard when he's attacking of the bounce and stuff.
Yeah. So Mavericks, I think, got worse. I think they still got a shot of making a run in the playoffs, but I think they got a little bit worse in the short term. They can still make other moves here. But yeah, the Lakers definitely, for the present, like, are they going to have some difficulties? Like, you kind of just got to hope. Well, they got to hope they can find a center in the next few days, and then they got to hope like LeBron and Luka can just carry them. But this wasn't a trade that was made to maximize this season. This was a trade to say, okay, for the next 10 years, this is the guy we're building around. This is the superstar that's like going to carry us the next 10 years. Everyone would have thought that the Lakers in 3-4 years past the LeBron AD era were going to be a tanking team every year, even though they had no picks. Well, now they have Luka Doncic to build around, and no matter what we've seen in Dallas, no matter what your team looks like around Luka Doncic, that guy is good enough to make you a playoff team on a year-to-year basis. Like Dallas, I think this trade made them worse for the present and the future. The Lakers will have a superstar, the superstar. Like you spend 50 years waiting for a player like this to walk in through the front door of your team's building. Like, and Dallas traded him away. It is absolutely absurd. And Luka Doncic has proven with Dallas that he can be the number one guy for a team every year.
Yep. Yeah, of course, Lakers will have huge issues now. They even if they signed like guy that makes perfect sense if he's up for a trade, it's Walker Kessler, like great defensive guy that can be a rim runner as well. Makes a ton of sense playing next to LeBron and Luka. He will be fed the ball so much, but the shooting is still a problem for me on that team. So yeah, they're probably moving of Reeves as well. So yeah,
This is funny. Lakers next 10 years. LeBron's 1 2 years left. Lakers will be based in Mad before Kyrie got there. So like a conference finalist with Luka
everyone
Doncic.
likes to play. Everyone wants to play for the Lakers. They
Yeah.
will have no issues bringing the talent in for the next. You'll see next season. You'll see next season.
Yeah, and the
Everyone.
and another thing, the Lakers won't have to pay Luka the supermax money because he's not
Yeah,
eligible for supermax money. So,
yeah. And
um,
I wouldn't be surprised if. So the scenario, interesting scenario, I could see maybe, and I would really enjoy that. Uh, LeBron at the end of the season move trade for LeBron James, some trade, and him ending up with the Golden State Warriors with Steph and Draymond for the last ride, last dance. That will be insane. I'm not saying this is realistic. I'm just saying what will be very fun
This
to
is
see to watch.
just the conference finals. Watch the conference finals be Mavs versus OKC. Lakers nowhere to be found. I don't like disagree that the Mavs have a better chance of winning this year, but then for the next
Yeah.
for the next 9, I think the Lakers have a better chance of winning. So, sure,
Yeah,
man. If you
most
want to be not good enough to win this year and worse for the next decade, I guess this was the trade for you, Dallas. All right, we'll move. We've said a lot here. We've got a lot of games. We'll quickly touch on De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox was moved to the San Antonio Spurs, pairs up with Wemby. The Kings end up getting 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks. Zach LaVine. One of those first-round picks is a 2025 Charlotte pick, which I believe has protections that will make it so it's very likely going to be 2 second-round picks. So it'll end up being 2 firsts and 5 seconds. Zach LaVine. And the Bulls end up getting Kevin Huerter, I think was the ultimate reality of this trade here. They got Zach. They got Trey Jones as well, and their own 2025 pick back from San Antonio. So yeah, tough return for the Bulls. Zach LaVine didn't have much value, but if they just finally were able to move on, not a good looking trade for them for sure. Spurs get a really good deal for De'Aaron Fox. The Kings probably could have done a little bit better here. It seemed like a little bit rushed here for the trade. What were your
I would
thoughts?
say I think it's one first round pick. Ended up going to be one because Spurs
27. I guess the 27 Spurs pick is going to be
that will be about like 25 to 30.
right.
So that's like one first round pick, one good pick, and that pick is even questionable because it's 2031 31 Wolves. We have no idea are Wolves good or not in 2031. So honestly, this is crazy steal for De'Aaron Fox. You didn't give up absolutely anything. First round pick for De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And they didn't have to trade him is the thing as well.
Yeah. I mean, Fox and Wemby is really good. Really
Yeah,
good stuff.
I think that's a phenomenal duo.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I love this move for the Spurs and
Fit
to
perfect.
not have to trade that much to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, tremendous.
I'm also surprised. You said like a good argument for this, good point. For like they're just trying to move away from LaVine and his terrible contract. Yeah, but LaVine is like when you're comparing De'Aaron Fox and LaVine, I don't think there is a huge difference between two of them. In the, I will obviously I would say Fox is a bit better because he's younger and or like, but the thing, people are so low on LaVine for no fucking reason. There is no reason to be like, look at his numbers. He's one of the best, most efficient scorers in the entire league for like 4 out of the last 5 years. Zach LaVine is really good, and De'Aaron Fox can shoot. So I don't think Fox is much better than Zach LaVine, especially because Zach LaVine can play second and third guy on any team. I don't know. If I knew the price, I would love my Rockets to get Zach LaVine for this cheap.
Yeah.
I would even give up some young players to get Zach LaVine. I think he's really good and really undervalued. So yeah, it's this trade was like Bulls being Bulls, always getting nothing in return. I sent you an interesting point with DeRozan and getting Duarte and Huerter for DeRozan and LaVine combined, which is insane. And then return for Fox is terrible. Return for AD for Doncic is terrible. Some cheap trades. So yeah, hope my Rockets are starting to trade stuff because the market is seems like never been better.
Yeah. Last thing, because I see this is the chat here. Apparently, the Mavs never made the conference final before Kyrie. Not only did they make the conference finals with Luka and no Kyrie, this was the team around Luka Doncic, okay? Obviously, Jalen Brunson, not the player he is today, but great player. Dwight Powell started. Reggie Bullock started. And Dorian Finney-Smith started. So, solid group of players, but majorly heightened by Luka Doncic on that team. Off the bench, this is game 5, the elimination game. The 3 most minutes off the bench were Spencer Dinwiddie, Maxi Kleba, and Frank Ntilikina, unbelievably. So, yeah, I think Luka's a pretty good player to stake your future in. Lakers will be okay with him. All right, let's get back to the games here. Any last words, or shall we go to the games here?
Let's go to the games. We are 26 minutes in.
Let's do it. All right, we're going to fly through the games a bit quicker than normal here, but hey, we had to talk about those. We'll start off with Atlanta playing against the Detroit Pistons. We have the Pistons 4-point favorites. Atlanta in trouble with the Jalen Johnson injury. So any thoughts on the game here?
Nope.
Nothing.
A lot of games, so we need to be like quick. So I'm not trying to guess. Last time, first game of the season, they didn't double Trae Young. Last time they doubled Trae Young. Do they do it again? If they do, it's an good under spot, good over spot for the assists. But overall, yeah, not staying away from that game. I mean, we have already one bet. I have probably 2 on my mind as of now. So, yeah.
All right, next up, we've got the Wizards against the Hornets. Hornets favored here by 4 points. Wizards, not a good team, but hey, small spread than we've seen for normal for them. How about anything for this game?
Yeah, let's look for the player points. I'm just currently don't know where are they set now because like we talk for such a long time. Yep. Jordan Poole 21.
Wow,
Kyle
Kuzma
is a really interesting one. Like not for points, not for just. I'll open up Props Madness to show you guys something. Kyle Kuzma. When you look at the last, I don't know how many games, but it's interesting. Like he scored 22, then 5, then 31, 22, then 13, 12, 7, then 30, then 7, then 19. Then 30.
It's just whatever he
in
feels
the last
like
game 31. Like the most random guy in the entire league. He's incredible. Though last 4 games or 5, usage has been 36%, 22, 26, 32, and 32. So like usage has been really, really high. So if you take a look, last 3 games, it's been over 25%. If you take a look at the games when he had 22% and higher, and when he played 26 or more minutes, we can see that he's averaging 20 points a game, crushing this line. So, but then if you look at this, 13 points against Kings, 3 from 15, 5 from 13, 7 from 19. But last couple of games, he was very aggressive. So if you get the aggressive version of Kuzma, he should be able to cover this with easy in this kind of matchup. Let me just check. Did he play against the Hornets? He did not. So no bets for this one, just showing Kuzma stuff.
Yep. We can move into the next game up on the FanDuel board here. We've got Houston away as 6.5-point underdogs against the New York Knicks. I'm sure you've got some thoughts for this game.
Yeah, so can you open the lines on the screen?
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize. Yes. Player points. We'll toss up here. There we go. We've got Jalen Green at 23.5, Brunson at 26.5, Mikal Bridges 22.5, Karl-Anthony Towns 22.5, Şengün 18.5.
Yeah. Don't see the Jalen Green 22.5, right?
Yeah,
but it's very juiced.
23.5.
20. Yeah. The Fred VanVleet is out. I don't know what to think about this game now without Fred VanVleet. We could honestly get killed in this one. So I'm going to stay away. We can move to the next one.
Next up, we've got Sacramento. Sorry, we already did this one. We skipped that one. We have the Bucks rematch of the NBA Cup final where the Bucks won. We have the Bucks now 11.5-point underdogs on the road at OKC minus 11.5. I wonder if OKC make a buying move in the next 3 days, but regardless, this should be one they come through and win. What do you think?
Why is this spread so high? Who is missing for the?
There must be somebody missing.
No one is missing for the Bucks. There is just no way. Like I'm taking the 11.5 here. Like yeah, even though they struggled lately, I don't know. This seems crazy to even think about. Like healthy Bucks against the Thunder.
So last 3 games, the Bucks have lost by 13 to the Grizzlies, by 26 to the Spurs, and by 13 to the Portland Trailblazers.
Still,
Yeah, it's a bit high. Market has really lost a lot of faith in the Milwaukee Bucks here. I'm gonna check where this line has moved.
yeah,
I'm just
they're on
curious.
back to back. Someone is saying in the chat. I probably missed that stuff, but still.
So so this has actually taken OKC money. It opened at 10 and then
It's
went
back to
to
back.
10. Yeah, it's just slowly gone from 10 all the way up to 11 and a half here.
Yeah, I forgot they are on back to back. I didn't watch that last night, so still think it's crazy, but I'm not betting it. Just my first thoughts. So no one is even questionable for the Bucks, but I do agree there is a chance they rest. But I don't know if they're them resting after losing 3 in a row. So we'll see. No bets on this one as well. I'm
All
I'm
right,
I'm
we have
loaded
the
for the last
Spurs.
couple
Okay.
of games on the slate.
We have Spurs +5 against the Grizzlies. Anything for this game?
So I'm just checking the rosters for this one. Yeah, it doesn't change much for the Spurs. A bit on the bench, but they still have Jeremy Sohan and Keldon Johnson there, Julian Champagny. So there should be good in this one. Memphis on back to back. Desmond Bain is questionable for this one. Are there any lines for this game?
Yeah, just Wemby and Chris Paul.
Yeah, just Wemby. Wemby is 24 and a half, right?
Yep.
So, yeah. Um, it was 25 earlier. They went doubling him a lot. So, I will probably have a bet later on this game when they open up some additional players. Uh, yeah, let's move on to the next game.
All right, we will keep moving down near the bottom of the board. 4 more games. 5 more games. Wait, how many games? 5 more games to go through here.
Yep.
We've got the Pelicans and the Nuggets. 11.5-point spread here.
Yeah, I will have bets in this one. Also, I don't know about this spread. Uh, Alvarado starting instead of DeJounte could be actually a good thing for the Pelicans. Yeah, they have when you have CJ, Trey Murphy, and Zion, you don't need DeJounte. Like Alvarado is better shooter and better defensive player, and probably even better creator. So it's interesting. Probably, yeah. So Denver didn't play well lately. They didn't play well at all, but they didn't play well at away games, and they don't usually play well in those. But they are now at home. Zion is playing, CJ is playing, Trey Murphy is playing. This could be maybe a game, especially with. I think Westbrook is out for this one, and he was huge in the run lately for the Denver.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, can we open the player points so I can go through it?
Yes.
So I will have bet for sure in this one. I just don't know which one I'm going to take because I have so many ones that I liked for this one. Michael Porter Jr. What the?
19.5 on MPJ today.
I just bet it like 5 minutes before the show at 17. What's happened there? Like, is there 17
This
and a half?
is the only place it's 19.
Yeah,
It is heavy juice 17 and a half and 18 and a half in other places.
yeah. I need to pull this one. Alvarado, are there 9.5 for Alvarado? Yeah, also juiced one. Uh, hmm. What's the price for MPJ? 15 plus points, 2 plus threes, and Jokic 8 plus assists.
Okay, MPJ 15 plus points. How many then? What threes for MPJ?
Yeah, 2 plus threes,
2 plus threes, and then Jokic 8 assists.
and Jokic 8 plus assists. I don't know. Like let's try. Let's see.
Minus 143.
Not good enough.
Yeah.
What's the price with? Yeah, I mean we are not building this higher. If this was minus 125, minus 120, I will take it. This way I can't do it. I didn't move the lines by 2 points. I think everyone bet this because it was Peyton Watson is
You
out.
on your own move the whole market. But I mean, it's possible, but
Yeah, I didn't.
I don't think so.
Let's bet big semi game parlay on this one.
Okay.
So it's a huge spread. So and I have a ton of things I liked. Let's go to the building. We can stick to this. Actually, let's go triple double for Jokic in this one.
Okay. Triple double for Jokic.
What's the price?
Let's see. Minus 185 for a triple double.
Yeah, no, we will do 10 plus assists.
That's just one of the craziest stats I've ever seen. Oh my god.
Let's do 10 plus assists instead.
10 plus assists for Jokic. Minus 220 to start.
Yeah, let's do Michael Porter Jr. 15 plus points.
Okay, Michael Porter Jr. 15 plus.
And then let's do Jose Alvarado 10 plus points.
Jose Alvarado 10 plus. There he is.
And let's do 15 plus for Trey Murphy.
And 15 plus for Trey Murphy.
Yeah, that's not great. Like let's just do Zion 20 plus and that's it instead of Trey Murphy. Yeah.
Okay. Zion 20 plus. Plus 315. So if you have Michael Porter Jr. 17 and a half points at a good price.
Let's change it. Let's change it to yeah, no, we are sticking with just thinking out like that Jokic can't defend the rim against Zion. I don't think so. Even if they try to like do team stuff, Zion is just looking absolutely incredible this season. So I'm only doing this no straight bets and big same game parlay because huge spread, and I don't want to have a lot of units on different players on overs because I only like overs.
Sorry, what was that there?
Yeah, just going to bet this as big semi game parlay because
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
So half unit here.
Yep.
Yeah, walk us through this one.
Yeah, first off, starting with Jose Alvarado. He's getting good minutes now. Without DeJounte Murray averaging 16.1 when he gets 24 plus minutes. Yeah, some games were without Trey Murphy or McCollum. This one Zion played. But overall, when he gets minutes, he's covering this. Last game, DeJounte Murray went out. I think like after the first quarter, he ended up playing 34 minutes and scoring 20 points against the Boston Celtics, which is a very difficult matchup. And this one is much easier for him. Then when you go to Michael Porter Jr., Uh, it's just going to look like great matchup for his shooting play types, spot up and transition. Denver's Pelicans are terrible at defending this, and they are overall poor defense. Ranking is as third worst defense in the league. When he gets the minutes, and without Peyton Watson and without Westbrook, he should be locked in for good minutes. In those minutes, he's scoring 15 plus in almost every game. Uh, Nikola Jokic against these poor teams should feast on the assists. As we look at this, he's been lately cooking with the assists, having 10 plus in 14 out of the last 18, and didn't have a good assist in game against the Knicks. Very difficult matchup against Dallas, 9 assists and 22 potential. Against poor single coverage against Wemby, of course, this assist didn't happen. So overall, in easy matchups, he's covering this. Yeah, that's it. Zion scoring most of his points in the paint, and Denver Nuggets are allowing third most points in the paint. So that's basically it. Like good matchup for everyone, and hoping if it's a close game, everyone should cover.
So that's our second official pick of the day. Got there in the end on that one. Again, MPJ 17.5 was a look. It's available in sporadic regions, not really widely available, but hey, if you can find it for yourself, minus 120, for example, then perhaps worth taking there. We'll move on to the next play, or the next game, rather. Pacers, 7.5-point favorite against the Jazz. Pacers have really turned their season around considering where they were to start the season. They're fourth in the Eastern Conference now, 8-2 in their last 10, 27-20 on the season. Should probably take care of business away at the Jazz. I know they're getting players back, but even still.
Yeah, uh, but Jazz healthy should be able to contest at least. So can we go to the points and rebounds? Let me see the line for Kessler.
Combo stat?
Yeah.
Okay. Points and rebounds for Kessler. We've got 21.5. Over 21.5 is plus 100. I'll quickly see where that stacks up to market here. Points and rebounds. This is the best in market for the over.
Yeah, that's weird. So let me just check. Yeah, it is moved everywhere. So yeah. Yeah, no bets then. I expected this to be 20 and a half, so I liked it there. I don't like 21 and a half.
All right, 3 more games to go through here. Please make sure you hit that like if you're enjoying the show and you're tailing the 2 picks that have been given out here so far. Next up is the Phoenix Suns, minus 4.5 at home to the Trailblazers. We can imagine the Suns at some point this week make a trade in some capacity, currently 8th in the West. The Blazers, 7 wins in their last 10, 3 wins in a row. Started to put some wins together here. Portland at home, 4.5-point underdogs. What do you think of that?
Yeah, they won 2 in a row against the Suns, playing really well. As I said last time they played, I just think the Portland are underrated now. When they are healthy, they have good players, good defense with some minutes with Cleveland, some other minutes with Avdia and Kamara. Grant is always capable because of the size. So overall, they can they can compete in this league with almost everyone. Like with outside top 5 teams, they can compete with everyone. So yeah, I think they could cover this 4.5. We'll have probably 2 bets in this one, as I expect this game to be really close. First one is Jeremy Grant over 13.5 points.
Jeremy Grant over 13.5 points. Let's see. There's actually, I believe, not some 12.5s at heavy juice, but for 13.5, we have, I believe it's minus 120 here at FanDuel. I'll just verify that.
Yeah.
Yeah, minus 120. And I think that's the best. Yeah, that's one of the best in market. That's definitely one of the top available places.
I think there are better spots for.
We can get minus 110 as well.
Yeah.
Minus 121. Yeah, 12.5
Minus 115 and minus 114, and yeah, there are better
Okay.
price. Yeah. So,
Um,
but yeah, we're going with this as our bet, but you can find better for this one
yeah.
easily.
We could
Uh,
do minus 115 here. Let's do minus 115 for this.
yeah.
Okay.
So overall on the season, when you look at Jeremy Grant, when he gets 28 plus minutes, why I'm going to do 28? Lots of blowout, and 2 injuries for him when he played like 15 minutes. When we exclude those games, we get, sorry, I need to do against 13 and a half. So he averaged 16.1 points a game over this time in 20 out of 30 games. And when we include the games when Simons and Sharp played, who are the highest usage guys on the team, he's still over in 13 out of 18. But when we exclude the games against the best defensive teams in the league, uh, he's over this line in 13 out of 15 games, averaging 17.4 points. So this line should actually be like at 15.5, in my opinion, for this one, where because on 15.5, he's still over in 10 out of 15 at 15.5. So even at 16.5, he's still over in 10 out of the 15 games. And the most important part of this is 3 games against the Suns this season: 20, 17, and 20 points. Good minutes. Last time he got 33 minutes and he left the game with 4 minutes left in a blowout. So he was on the pace to play 36, 37 minutes. And that game was 2 days ago and the rosters didn't change. So should be a lock for 30 plus minutes for Graham tonight in a matchup. That's first possession of the game. He was posting up on Tyus Jones. They didn't help, and he had an easy. He just turned around and dunked the ball over Tyus Jones. So didn't send any help. So this one is a great one for me. We can move up to the second one if it's available. It's not. It moved. So it moved.
Okay.
I wanted to bet KD over 25 and a half, but it's
Did
26 wildly now.
did that just move?
I last checked before the show. We are
Oh, okay.
50 minutes in, so
Yes. Long
yeah.
show.
Yeah.
All right. Then we'll get ready for the next one here. Jeremy Grant, third official play of the day. 2 more games to go through. Orlando, first of all, on the road at Golden State as 3-point underdogs. Got anything for this game here?
We are going to Golden State, Orlando. Yeah, I don't think I have this. I don't think I have bets here. It will be a weird one. Can you just open the lines? Maybe I can see like of the because like we are 50 minutes in. I have my bets prepared. Jalen Suggs over 10.5 points. That's an easy one.
All right.
That's fourth official bet.
Jalen Suggs, nice and quick. Over 10.5 points. We've got minus 115 here at FanDuel. I'm going to see where this stacks to market. It's the best in market.
Best in the market by far.
All right. There we go. Fourth official bet, Jalen Suggs.
Yeah, this one is crazy actually. I do expect him to be limited somehow to like maybe 30 minutes, like nothing crazy. But when we look at the games when he got 24 plus minutes, he averaging 18 points and over in 18 out of 21. So that's it. He scores most of his points as a pick and roll ball handler, but that's because he played half the season without Banchero and Franz. Now that Banchero and Franz are back, he's moving in a spot up role, and Golden State allows the second most spot up in the league. Yeah, that's the way I see this game going. He should score. The game unders. He stayed under against the Knicks. Shot 4 from 19. 4 from 19. 9 points. Against the Dallas, hooked at 10. 4 from 13. But 7 points against the Pelicans. 3 from 9. So, like, his numbers, he'll not be getting better looks. In these games against the Knicks, he was the first scoring option on the team. But the thing is, his usage don't change with Banchero and Francine. Look at this. The 2 games with both France and Banchero in, he scored 21, 25, and 17 points. 16, 17, and 17 field goal attempts in 3 games with both of them playing. I'm afraid like only thing that could impact this one is potential huge limits on minutes, but I don't think that's the reality. If he's good to go, he'll play big minutes as always. Uh, I'll just check so far this season. He was on pace to play big minutes when he returned twice this season. So he was out for some time, came back, played 15 minutes because he had 3 fouls in the first quarter.
Right.
Four fouls in the first quarter. But he was on pace to play 32 minutes in that game back. And still ended up scoring 8 points in 15 minutes. This could maybe be a spot to even take like a 1.5 unit bet on this one.
All right. 1.5.
Yeah.
Maybe 1.5. Are you going
Let's
to do that
do
for the
one
show?
and a quarter. Let's add 1.25.
One and a quarter units on Jalen Suggs. So we will play this to win 125 rather than our typical to win 100.
It's better than the rest, so we need to add something more.
All right. I will adjust that for the chat there for anybody watching the chat, following along for the official confirmation on the bets over there. 1.25 units there on Jalen Suggs. Last game, I actually cannot believe this is a game that's happening today. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Oh, sorry. This isn't happening today. Sorry.
Yeah,
we're out of games. Okay. Tickles your fancy. February 25th, the Lakers are playing the Mavericks. There's lines up on FanDuel for this.
They want
this game. This game is 22 days away. We don't know who's going to be healthy, but it's going to be Luka against his former team. We already have lines up for Luka, LeBron, Kyrie, and AD. Wow. What a world we live in. You can bet Luka Doncic over 31.5 points here. All right, I have it open. Any leans when you see this here?
Like there is I don't know. Maybe he steps up, but not. So I'm joking. No bets on this one, of course.
50 plus points. You get Luka at plus 2,200. That would imply probability of 4.35%. You know,
40 is maybe more realistic, like 40 points.
Plus 410. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, that's terrible line.
Don't think we got enough there. Wow, that's
We need to
remarkable.
Quickly go through the messages. To
Yes,
the questions.
I have 4 that are already queued up. We're just going to use these 4 because of a long show. I'm at fault for that. We have Don Bucko says, when a big trade like this happens, do you shy away from betting those teams to see how they shake out since they are such difference makers?
Nope. I usually target those teams because I have a bigger knowledge and edge than the books who are setting the lines.
That's exactly what I said in the chat when it was asked. I'm glad you agree. Uncertainty is the best time for you to use your knowledge over the sportsbook who also doesn't know what's going to happen. Maybe you know more. You can find an edge.
Yeah, I think one of my biggest advantages in edges in betting is using small sample sizes and extrapolating it to a bigger data, so I can find the edge. So this is like perfect. That's why I do the best usually like first 10 days of the season. New teams, I can predict what's going to happen more than the books. So
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have John Collins under 1.5 threes at minus 125.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. Pacers could. They are allowing a lot of spot up lately. So, for the on top of my head, I don't think that's a good bet. If you take a look like lately, it's heavily juiced. I don't like this one. I don't know. Last game he played 33 minutes, but it's at Orlando and Wolves. Of course, he will have a low usage on threes. Like he shot 3 and 2, but look at the Miami one, 4. Who gives Kings? Kings give a lot of threes. 5 out of 8. Lakers 3 out of 5. OKC 3 out of 4. Like he was very efficient in those. Like the volume is just not there for him to cover. But the juiced under against the team that allows spot up and threes, yeah, I don't like actually this one. They allow spot up. They allow 6 more spot up, and he's scoring most of his points. Yeah, spot up. Not my kind of bet.
All right. Last one here. Thoughts on threes today? This is from Gabriel asking about Jalen Green 4+ at +140, Trey Murphy 4+ +130, Wemby 4+ +145, Brook Lopez 3+ +260.
3 out of those 4 make sense.
Okay.
Wemby doesn't. They are sending doubles to Wemby, so I will stay away from Wemby, especially at that price. Brook Lopez, Jalen Green, Trey makes sense, kind of. So I will stick away from Wemby. I will stay out from Wemby, but other 3 seems fine.
All right, that will do it for the show today. Thank you for bearing with us. I felt like we really had to touch on Doncic and Fox. Doncic's probably the biggest trade maybe the league has ever seen, at least top of my head. So, yeah, what a weekend it was. But let's hope for another great week on the show. We are up all like 3.89 units last week. Let's hope for another good week here today. Here are the 4 picks for today. Mike Conley, 2+3s, -125 at FanDuel. Half unit on this SGP. Jokic, 10+ assists. Alvarado, 10+ points. MPJ, 15+ points. Zion, 20+ points. We got that +315 at FanDuel. Third bet, Jeremy Grant over 13.5 points. We're played at -115. -10 was available. -120 at FanDuel. Also fine to take was available for that one. And finally, 1.25 units. Jalen Suggs over 10.5 points, -115 at FanDuel. Thank you so much, everybody. Long show today. We hope you did enjoy. If you did, hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe. We're live every weekday morning right here on the Board YouTube channel presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. We'll see you tomorrow.